Hello and welcome to Sammy on Stadia F2 Challenge Round 9. This time it's the Canadian race at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, home to the 1968 World's Fair. The last 8 rounds haven't gone particularly well for us, as you can see on the championship. We're down in 16th place for Jack Aitken. Our teammate Boccolacci managed to score some points last time out in Azerbaijan, putting him ahead of us in the championship, but it's not particularly great from either of us, especially when you see further up the two Carlin guys are leading the championship by nearly 100 points between Matsushita and Giotto in third. As I said, the next race is Canada, so let's see what's going on.
Welcome as you join us once again for another thrilling Formula 2 race here in Montreal at the iconic Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Let's get down to the grid and join the action. Located on a man-made island in the middle of the St. Lawrence River, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is a track known for its heavy braking chicanes and famous hairpin. Going at flat-out speeds can result in some close calls, particularly at the iconic Wall of Champions, where former drivers will tell you discipline is key to navigating the track's final chicane. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. They are nervy moments, there is no doubts about them. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
As we're now moments away from the off, let's take a look at the grid order in which they'll start today's race. An immense lap from Nobuharu Matsushita yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Louis Delatraz that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Giotto, Tete Camara, Callum Ilott, and Mazepin, Joe, De Vries, Latifi, Sean Galea, Aitken, Schumacher, Mahavir Raghunathan, and Hubert, Correa, Boccolacci, King, and Tatiana Calderon. Alesi and Ralph Boschung completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
We'll try not to let him down, starting P11. That's one of our best qualifying so far. It is of course random qualifying, I've got no control over it, and I've been a little bit critical of it in the past, where it's put me further back. Last time out for Baku it put me in P13, but that didn't really do me any favours. I got caught up in midfield and ended up crashing out just in the first lap. The Canadian circuit is quite a high speed one, so I'm actually going to go for preset 5, maximum top speed. Now this could be a little bit dangerous, but we need to take a few risks. Let's see what we can do as we start the race. Lights out, away we go. Latifi ahead of us, not getting the best start. We're able to get ahead of him. I'm going to back out a little bit just so I don't get caught up in too much in first corner. Actually, Latifi gets back at us. We haven't made a position there. We might even be losing one there. We have lost one to Schumacher. Let's see if we can get it back in the next corner. No, not quite. Canadian circuit, of course, one of the most popular circuits in Formula 1, has had some incredible races, not least of which that massively long Formula 1 race in 2011, which was won by Jenson Button on the final lap, that wet dry race. So we're now in P12, trying to chase down Schumacher and Latifi. going into the hairpin at the end of the track, and we can definitely say this has been one of my cleaner first laps. I've not been involved in any incidents at all, not even cutting a corner like I was caught out with in Spain. Been doing well.
Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
Schumacher going defensive in there. We force our way past it before she came. That was a good manoeuvre. A little bit of contact I thought, but not enough to worry either driver. Certainly not enough to worry me. I can't speak for Mick Schumacher. We're on our way up to Latifi. Now back into 11th, which is the spot we started in. The championship points are awarded for the top 10. I'm going to go quiet for a little bit just as I try and close into the back of some points. Great opportunities, I'm closing in. 0.7, 0.6 behind the TV now. For some points, well, our first points for a long time since I think the Dutch round in Zandvoort. We go on to lap 3 and DRS will be enabled in this lap. Very important if we can stay within a second of the car in front. There you go, like that. Within a second of the car in front, we get to use the drag reduction system down this straight. We'll also get to use it in the final straight and the start-finish straight. Oh, our brakes locked up there, we get straight into the back of the TV.
Front wing damage, but only a few laps left. If you can live with it, stay out.
I believe I can live with it. Let's see what we can do. The DRS closing in, closing in, closing in. And we get it again on this straight as well. Of course Latifi gets it because he's within a second of the car in front of him. It's created a bit of a train here, which is going to make it very difficult for us to overtake, which is a bit frustrating for us being in 11th. Lap 4, penultimate lap of the race. Still closing down Latifi. Cutting the corner just like Vettel did in that year, and just about safe position. We do get a warning for a collision with you there behind us.
That was far too aggressive. Clean passes only. We don't want a penalty.
That's fair. We did cut the corner. We were trying to get back onto the track. That might well have cost us a chance at top 10 and some points finishes today. Be a shame having been given a gift of starting P11. We're going to second the car in front now, but we weren't at the detection point, so we don't get the use of that DRS. And into the final chicane for penultimate time. Now across the line to start the final lap of the race now.
This is your final lap of the race.
This might be a do or die manoeuvre. coming into the final lap. And again we cut that corner, it's not. Easy, I think we are further behind even at this point in the previous lap. It looks like P11 will be our finishing spot tonight. Come through, that was a detection point, so we weren't within a second of the car in front. Then we did have cars behind us within a second. They'll have DRS on us. It could be a fight to keep on to P11. Coming into final chicane. Matsushita wins the car then. We give all the champions a lot of room. As we come to the checkered flag, it's P11 for us in Canada.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
So another fantastic victory for Carlin today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out of everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
And there you have it, today's winners. Having raised some of the biggest names in F1 to date, Carlin have once again shown their expertise when it comes to recruiting new talent. No doubt today's winners have a bright future ahead of them. They certainly deserve it after today's performance. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Nobuharu Matsushita is my favorite one. Today was amazing. He made so many overtakes. I think it's got to be Sean Galeol. It's not always spectacular, but he quietly gets the job done. And that's the case today. My choice is not the same as the fans' choice this time. And both drivers were brilliant today. But the driver I choose today just about has the edge, I think.
Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Davide Valsecchi really suggesting Nobuharu Matsushita was his driver of the day because of all the overtakes he made. He started first and he finished first. He didn't need to overtake anyone. And if he did, it meant he got overtaken to begin with. Slight bug in there for that. Again, the top 6 remain in their same positions. And so does 11th, which is us. 10 seconds behind. Our fastest lap is actually on a par with those that finished immediately in front of us. So people like Latifi, Joe, Galel, De Vries. Matsushita seems to be in a world of his own. He's scored 3.5 seconds ahead of his teammate. Let's have a look at the standings. And he was still in 16th. Our team has managed to climb up to 8th thanks to our teammates' efforts in Baku a couple of days ago. But we're not quite ahead of MP Motorsport yet. 6 points to go. I believe we should be able to do it by the time we hit the halfway point in the season, which is in 2 rounds' time. So that's a challenge I've set for myself because I'll need to pull my own weight as well to get ahead. And we'll see what happens next time on the F2 Challenge.